have you ever stopped to think what would go down if one day space, which today we all see as the chillest, most peaceful and science-driven zone for humanity, suddenly turned into a battleground? Like, what if all the power struggles happening on Earth start spilling way up into the skies? And not just between countries, but between those mega superpowers. What if China, which is hustling hard to flex its muscle in space, makes a move that shakes the whole world's defense systems to their core? And if future wars ain't fought on borders but thousands of miles above the Earth, up in space, what's gonna happen to us then? Back in the day, wars were always fought on land, sea, or air. World War II flipped the game with air raids that changed history, but no one really imagined that someday conflicts could reach out into space. During the Cold War, the US and Soviet Union flexed with satellites, missile tech, and spy gear, throwing shade and threats, but it mostly stayed on paper and posturing. Space was a power symbol, sure, but it wasn't the actual battlefield. Fast forward, the world's been shifting, and China started leveling up real quick in the space game. They didn't just build slick rockets, but turned their satellites into tight defense systems. Back in 2007, China smashed an old satellite just to send a loud message, "Yo, we can hit you in space too." That stunt was a serious wake-up call for the global players that future wars might just happen way beyond the Earth's surface. Nowadays, every country's got their lifelines, satellites, communication networks, GPS, weather tracking, internet, all hooked up to space tech. If any of that gear gets taken out, a whole country's connections, defense, and economy can go dark in seconds. China knows this well, and that's why its space hustle freaks out the world, especially the US. America's scared that if things ever blow up, China could take down satellites and paralyze the global system. Big powers get it. Satellites today are like the old-school forts and ports of history. Take out an enemy's satellite, and their army's basically blind, deaf, and lost. That's why the US, China, Russia, and Europe are all pumping resources into space weapons. The next war might kick off with a silent clash in the skies. No missile sounds, no boom, but the whole world's systems could crash hard. If we peek into the future, things look pretty serious. Imagine a small turf war between China and the US on the ground. Troops move, tensions spike, and suddenly China decides to jam some key US military satellites. No noise, no fanfare, but the fallout's brutal. US Navy loses contact, drones go haywire, and defense radars start pointing in the wrong direction. US strikes back by unleashing its own cutting-edge space weapons, targeting China's comm satellites. Seconds later, explosions in space turn satellites to junk, and that debris floats around, wrecking even more gear. Communication lines worldwide start dropping one by one. International flights hit turbulence, internet services tank, and global trade spirals into chaos in just a few hours. The war spills back to Earth too, but the real fight's in space. China launches its new space war carrier to control weapons up there. US sends out a super-secret spacecraft on a mission to disable China's top satellite. Neither side calls it a full-on war, but make no mistake, this is humanity's first space battle. Soon, other countries get dragged in. Europe hustles to save its defense satellites. India plays it safe, locking down its systems. Russia shows up flexing its muscle. Within days, space becomes a volatile zone where any move could spark a global crisis. One wrong call and Earth might find itself in a full-scale war again. This isn't sci-fi anymore. It's a reality creeping closer every day. Controlling space is the biggest power play on Earth right now, and China's rapid rise just cranks up the stakes. If the balance breaks, the first strike might hit space, dragging the world into a fresh global meltdown. The scariest part? Every space war messes with humanity's shared systems. If satellites get wrecked, weather forecasts, farming, trade, internet, banking, aviation, even our day-to-day lives grind to a halt. The war might be between two countries, but the whole planet pays the price. We gotta ask ourselves, will future generations live in a world where the skies aren't peaceful but echo with enemy fire? Will space, once a symbol of hope and progress, become the deadliest battlefield? If we don't wake up now, this nightmare could hit us all sooner than we think. So here's the bottom line. The rising tension between China and other superpowers over space isn't just about tech competition. It's the biggest threat to future peace. If this arms race goes unchecked, we could be staring down a war that won't just play out on Earth, but high up in the skies, with consequences that hit every moment of our lives. If you dug this video, learned something fresh, then please do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and share it around so you and your crew keep getting more real talk and deep dives on topics that matter. Your support means the world.